The Sangheili learned human customs, not the other way around. The Sangheili understood that they needed to be our friends because we had just proven that we could do the absolute impossible. But the Sangheili likely believed that we would have just won anyway, because we should have lost 20 years ago and we just refused to lose.
The Halo universe is filled with wonder, mystery, and fascinating discoveries around every corner. With so much to explore, four friends decided it was about time that they boot up their consoles and discuss this universe that has grabbed their attention since childhood. JumperScape Audio kindly welcomes you to join them in the library.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the library, the show where we talk about Halo lore. I'm Austin.
I'm Shane.
Oh, he's not here. I'm Connor.
He's right there, Connor.
That's him. It's literally him.
It's him.
It's him.
It's James. That's James. Yeah, James couldn't make it. What?
That's a bit long for James. No, that could be James.
What?
Out of context, that's a bit long for James.
It was a hair on the bottom of my boot.
To quote Connor, short runway?
Short runway.
The inside jokes. That was an amazing moment. I still remember very well.
That was one where, like, he said a joke, and I had that one locked and loaded for much longer than people would think.
That was our World at War video. Yeah, that was our World at War video.
And then he said the thing.
Oh yeah, because it was hard landing.
Yeah.
It was hard landing.
He said the joke, and I just woke up like a sleeper cell and said that.
Neuron activation, if you will.
He said the thing.
Well, my friends, welcome back to the library. I'm still not sick. My throat is still all dry out, and I'm trying to work through it. So if I cough, I'm going to try to not do it into the mic at least. But like that. But we still have stuff to talk about today. Because you see, we might... Help me, please. We might have already talked about the Battle of the Ark way back at the beginning of this season, but we've actually gotten ahead of ourselves. Back in December, we skipped over a battle that we were initially planning to do, just because it was a battle in Halo 5. But the thing is about Halo 5's battles is it can usually be condensed down to 4 Spartans fought and either won or lost. So the battles aren't all that interesting. The overarching narrative of it is more interesting, and the only battle that really counts as anything that's like major is probably the first one, but we already talked about that with the fall of Julandama. So go back to that episode if you want to see that. I believe that was Kamchatka, where I was trying to remember if it was Kamchata or Kamchatka. Rumchata was the final answer.
Didn't like someone say the name of the planet wrong in the game?
Yeah, it was Palmer. She said that they were on the surface of Kamchatka, but the planet is called Kamchatka, which is also a Russian city. So I don't know why the planet is named Kamchatka, but you know, that's where we're at.
Hey, I think that city was in the news recently for getting like 15 feet of snow.
Yeah, there were people jumping out of windows, landing in the snow, and it was funny.
Yeah, they're jumping out of their
Why are you guys getting
story windows?
Why are you guys getting weather news from a random Russian city?
Why aren't you?
I don't know.
Hey,
that's what I want to find out.
That's my algorithm.
I
man.
want to test my algorithm. I want to change it.
I've been bedridden. I used Twitter for longer than just like a few minutes. So because of that, I've been seeing at least a few new things that I normally wouldn't see. But now I'm getting back to normal, so I'm thankfully turning it off again. So I'm feeling much better now. But anyway, so we have to go over the Battle of the Ark again. But in this circumstance, I want to get into more of how it affected the Covenant rather than how it affected the actual narrative of Halo itself. Because last week we were talking about the Battle of Voi and how significant that was because of the Covenant finally achieving its goals and all this stuff, and a little bit of how it affected Africa, but, you know, we have to go into that much later probably about how the actual battles affected these various locations that they were held in, especially when it comes to Africa. Africa got decimated, which is not the first time in history.
Technically, it got decimated like twice.
Technically,
the dig site. I guess it wasn't the entire continent.
it's the same continent on the same day.
Yeah.
Like Voi and New Mombasa both got absolutely shredded.
Well, I get then. I mean, if that's the case, then you can go 3 times. Because I was thinking the dig site, and then the Sangheili glassing it to prevent the flood from infesting the rest of the world.
True.
So I was thinking, that's what I was thinking. I didn't even think about it that way. So I guess technically it was 3 times.
Yeah, they just and then Cleveland.
Africa.
Then Cleveland.
The Battle of Cleveland, Ohio.
Which is the finale of this season, if I can help it. Which I'm working on making that happen. But anyway,
what? I don't even know how much there is on that.
Quite a bit actually.
Is there really?
There's a good amount. I mean, the fact that they were holding where our current Brown Stadium is hostage is just kind of entertaining.
Well, for at least another 2 years. Next year is the new Brown Stadium is getting built.
Oh, that's when they start it.
Well, no, it's already started. It's gonna be available to use.
Well, hey, it's reassuring at least to know that that the Browns make it 500 years in the future.
Probably with no Super Bowl.
500 years, no Super Bowl.
I
At least once.
I was talking to my stepfather and my actual dad about, like, I'm sure I'll see a Browns Super Bowl in my lifetime.
No.
And they were
you
both
hope?
like, well that's the thing. They were both like, I've been saying the same thing, and they're like, they're in their 50s. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, in the next like 20, 30 years, something's got to give. Like, statistically, it should have already happened, which is insane.
Unfortunate for everyone waiting on that. But yeah, we'll talk about the Battle of Cleveland eventually, just because of the meme of it all, but also because it's actually a rather important battle, which is just shocking. Shout out to the what is it? It's the what was it called?
We're the Cleveland Browns.
They were after the key to
Punts.
O'Sonnellan. That's what it was. The key to O'Sonnellan. And we'll get to that. The cheeky answer of key to O'Sonnellan. But otherwise, before we get into everything, JumperScape.com, as always, if you want to get plugged into our community, the Discord button is right there in the top right, or you can just go to discord.gg/JumperScape. There's all sorts of new events and such coming up with the merger that happened recently between us and the Podtacular community. If you're interested, game nights are now happening every week, consistently, forever. Because Podtacular, back for the last however many years, they have been hosting these things called Fraggin' Fridays, where on Friday evenings you load up whatever Halo they're playing that night, and you play Halo for as long as you want on Friday night. And Dust, who is still representing Podtacular, just not as its primary host anymore, now just part of the JumperScape team, is maintaining Fraggin' Fridays. So now game nights are happening consistently every Friday. So I would like to formally apologize to the UK Book Club for stepping on their time. and I would like to once again give praise to the Western Book Club for once again maintaining superiority.
Five Nights at Fragging Friday. I love that so much.
So it's going to be a good time. And for those of you who are interested in joining in events that are outside of gameplay, like the book clubs and such, those are getting some adjustments as well to make them more involved and more tied into what we're doing here with JumperScape and all of that. So stay tuned for that. There's all sorts of fun stuff that's going to be coming up. We just had an Ugly Spartan contest on Saturday that I was completely out of state for, so I couldn't tune in. But I've heard nothing about it, actually. No one told me anything about it. So I'm going to assume either it didn't happen or it was so much fun everyone forgot to tell me about it.
I will say I looked to join and I didn't. I saw a few channels with maybe like 2 people each, and I consistently checked it. And unless I checked at the completely like wrong time, I don't know if it happened.
Yeah, it'd be fine if it didn't. It was an idea. We just needed an event locked in for January. I'm sure that Keith is about
Why
to
did you say January like that.
because my throat is all sorts of screwed up. January. It sort of happened. I made a show of your creations post about it. Nice. Okay. Well, hey, you know what? If there was a winner, we should give them a 3D print of their ugly armor.
I want to see the contest winner if someone has a screenshot.
Oh, you could just check the channel. I'm sure it's there.
No, probably.
But yeah, everything there is why is Ilsa Zane? What is that? What is wait? Okay, I'm not gonna read that. I'm all right. I'm good.
I read that first.
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm good.
I read that first line and I'm like, oh.
I'm all right. I'll just let the chat handle
I'm gonna
that
go back
one.
to the target practice.
I'm gonna be fine with it. Did you actually make it flip?
Yeah, I did, and I moved on to this.
You're just shooting the innocent wildlife of the forest?
Yeah, don't act like you haven't.
I haven't.
Oh, you're lying.
I have never loaded this up just to shoot the plant.
This is how I
or the
practiced my
animals.
sniping when I was younger.
This is what you did?
I'd come on here and I just shoot. Cause,
Oh, you were talking about in the game.
yeah, I just go on here and I don't know what these things are called, but they were hard as hell to hit.
Well, aside from all of that, I don't really have much else for updates aside from Chatternet After Hours is a thing. So tune in because it's a fantastic concept and I want it to get attention. So tune into that. Along with Chatternet Continuing, which in my absence was very much a welcome thing. And I have to thank the Chatternet team for just kind of keeping it going because I've been so out of it for the last 2 weeks due to various things happening, which apologies to calendar backers that they aren't out yet. Circumstances were atrocious these past few weeks. And so because of that, they haven't gone out. But hopefully this will mean that now that I'm back in the saddle of things, I'll be able to keep my eyes on stuff a lot better and get this stuff out. Oh, hey, you asking about the calendar. It's perfect. Yeah, no, circumstances were bad. They just haven't gotten shipped yet. We're aiming to have them out this week because circumstances are now past us mostly. So we have almost everything ready. And thanks to our friends at Scion Esports, all of the shipping is already covered and ready to go. So it's just about really getting them out the door. So hopefully you'll automatically get a tracking number as soon as your package is in the postal service and ready to go. But yeah, definitely just the typical usual stuff. Chatternet, Daily Halo Radio is still going on. It's a great time. Love that show. Keeps me going. The library still going on every week. Illegal Broadcast has been down for a while, but I think you guys are coming back with it. Are you?
We did it last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did it last week.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
But
Pentagon.
Huh?
The planet.
Penta.
Oh.
Penta is gone.
Right. Yeah.
Penta, no, my favorite wrestler.
It is gone. It is literally. Have you been to it?
I haven't.
It's just a black hole.
I'll probably.
It's just a black hole. It's gone. It's completely gone.
I'll check it out tonight, but I'm not going to be home.
But yeah, it's that show will be continuing on. Podtacular still launching this month, likely in the last week of this month. And otherwise, Halo Lo-Fi Radio still playing 24/7 on the JumperScape YouTube channel and our Red vs. Blue Watch Party stream, which this just a couple days ago we did season 9, which is one of the most plot heavy and animation heavy seasons out there. And next Sunday, this coming Sunday, is going to be season 10, which is one of my personal favorite seasons. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a great time. I am very much looking forward to it. And I appreciate those who have tuned in and watched some Red versus Blue with me. It's good with a nice drink and some delicious snacks. It's a good time. But other than that, I think we should probably just get into our little discussion topic for the day. So Battle of the Ark.
Oh, that's what we're here for.
Yeah. We already talked about how it affected the Halo plotline and how it affected the humans and the Singhili and all this stuff. We did not talk very much about how it affected the Covenant. Just how big of a failure the Battle of the Ark
It
was.
Kind of the nail in the coffin.
It was, because they were already collapsing. At the time of Halo 2, we already saw that the Great Schism was kicking off, which was bad timing in general. And really the only reason why the Great Schism happened in the first place was because the Singhili were starting to get actually smart. And the brutes were still stupid.
Well, I don't want to say like they were always been smart. And I mean, it's also,
they were waking up.
Well, yeah, yes. But I mean, during the battle at the end of the mission, the Covenant, there was like right before, the Arbiter kills Truth, he said, "Your kind never did believe in the promise of the sacred rings." And that heavily implies that, the Singhili were always kind of like questionable about what the Covenant and the prophets were kind of preaching.
Yeah, it is a fair implication to say that they've always thought that. But the thing is that it also could be because the Sangheili have never really expressly doubted. And if they ever did, the other Sangheili was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, there were definitely others that were like, watch what you say. This is heresy.
But the Sanshium, the prophets always had a reason to be concerned because way back during the initial war that started the Writ of Union and got the Covenant kicked off, it was the Sangheili versus the Sanshium. And the Sangheili were surprisingly good fighters against a very technologically outclassed army, which was the Sanshium and their Forerunner stuff. Whenever I still love the shot from, I think it's a terminal that displays the origin story of the Covenant, where the Sangheili get approached by like a group of Sanshium in hopes of like, bow down before us and maybe we'll spare you type of behavior. And a cart gets rolled back towards them and the prophets take the tarp off the cart and it's just a bunch of Sanshium heads.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Not the card I thought you were referring to.
Yeah, he is. Hit this, my brother.
And he rolled the card over him like
blinker. That's why Austin's coughing so much.
No. Never would, never will. But
it's been quite a while.
But the circumstances of that union did result in eventually this collapse of the Covenant. And just one single fleet fighting alongside humanity was the cause of the Covenant's downfall. Because by the time we got to Halo 3 with the Battle of the Ark, we're fighting with like a very small, tiny portion of the Covenant, of whatever's left of it, essentially, that the Prophet of Truth still has control of. Because after destroying what was left of the Covenant by killing the Prophet of Mercy and Regret.
Well, and losing High Charity as well.
And losing High Charity, which is all tied into all of that. By that point, the Covenant had absolutely no leadership to go off of and no home base, which High Charity was doomed to fail from the beginning, I would like to say, because you're shoving trillions and trillions of aliens into basically a somewhat autonomous asteroid.
And then you're telling them, hey, despite your differences, get along and make it work when you have, like stuff like the Grunt Rebellion and like the Kigyar poisoning the Grunt's methane tanks.
There was significant
it was bad.
Racism on High Charity.
You can't just put all of those together and expect it, like, especially when there's like the telltale signs of it not working are already there.
Yeah, seriously.
Not ideal.
But that's exactly why they were like the brutes. Those absolute apes. They don't think about anything.
They just
see that everything's smaller than them. And
monkey see, monkey do.
Beat them up.
Well, that's the thing too. Considering the Ark was primarily a ground battle, humanity throughout the entirety of the war did relatively well on ground. Where we were outclassed was in outer space when we were fighting in space.
But then the Sangheili pull up.
Yes, and now
they outnumber us 3-1. No, they don't.
Long story short, no. It is very much a fair fight. In fact, they are probably still the Covenant are probably still at a disadvantage.
Then we're going to make them blow themselves up.
Yeah,
basically, which is how they won that fight in space. Just to remind, is
what did they do?
Artas Vadam, the shipmaster of this fleet, just started positioning his ships in between brute ships, and the brute ships just missed the Sangheili ones and shot each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like the best pilots of the Covenant were probably Sangheili.
Surprisingly enough, the best pilots were grunts.
Really?
Yeah,
like in space.
They're phenomenal.
I didn't know
they're almost always at the helm.
I would love to see a grunt crammed into a banshee. How does that work?
What's really funny is that like you don't see grunts in the banshees mostly just because like of the way that they're designed, but they really should have put grunts in the banshees.
Jackals I can understand because jackals were pretty much space pirates.
Yeah, like, but they're dumb too.
Yeah, no, jackals scare me.
They're dumb in the way that like they don't think about anything beyond the present. They don't think anything beyond what's happening here in the now. They don't plan for anything in the future, and that causes their deaths like a lot, actually.
And the grunts were like moderately intelligent. It's just
they're extremely intelligent.
Years upon years of inbreeding that kind of caused their quirkiness.
What's funny is that, yeah, it caused all that, but they're still hyper intelligent because they're still the first species that learned English.
Are they?
Yeah, they like in Halo Combat Evolved. There's a reason why they're the only ones that speak English.
That's fascinating.
Like that was originally a gameplay thing, obviously, but
I mean, they made it work into the lore.
Yeah, grunts understood human language a long time before everybody else did, just because they could learn super fast. The grunt jockey was their design. They knew how to make those things and pilot those things.
Sanghelios are part of a well-balanced diet.
Sanghelios?
It's like spaghetti.
I'm mostly interested in the Sangwheelie.
That's why I was laughing.
I didn't even see that. I was hyper fixated on Sanghelios.
The Sangwheelie is pretty fire. I'm not going to lie. I'm a big fan of that. But yeah, the grunts were actually like, they were integral in a lot of situations. And when they were part of this schism, they're basically just following whoever was their leader. But the Sangheili treated their grunts better because they got to experience what grunts were like in PAX and warfare.
I wish they would have kept the direction, and this is somewhat off topic, not really. It's relevant to the arc to a certain degree. When the schism happened in Halo 2, you were like, down in the midst of it as the Arbiter. You kind of like, I forget what the name of the mission was called, but it was like you could kind of see where the battle lines were drawn. Like you progress through the level and you'd see certain grunts on your side, and you would see like the hunters have come to our aid, Arbiter, that just pops up from over the cover.
The hunters have come to our aid, Arbiter.
So like you had the grunts and you had hunters with you throughout that entire mission, and then you'd see jackals, you'd see the drones. You kind of got an idea of like where the battle lines were drawn, and it kind of sucks that in Halo 3 they kind of like backtracked a little bit, but from my understanding there were still some of those species that still sided with the Sangheili, and
plenty.
Yeah, but you just didn't see them. You just didn't see it in the game, which I think is kind of disappointing, because I think having different, especially like on the mission, the Covenant, at the start of it when you're flying down and you have the two green phantoms behind you, having green colored hunters and green grunts behind you taking your side against the Covenant.
It would have been cool.
They should have done it.
Because I remember as a kid being disappointed about that, because I remember as a kid, I played Halo 3, but as soon as I saw the Sangheili being on our side, I'm like, why are these aliens on our side? So I played through the entirety of Halo 2 just to understand it. And I was like, well, I'm fighting alongside grunts and jackals and all this stuff. Why aren't they here now?
That killed me going from Halo 3 to Halo Reach. Like, being so like fascinated by the idea that the Sangheili are on your side, and then Halo Reach, you backtrack a good few years and you're fighting the Sangheili again, and then I hate them again. I had a ton of conflicting emotions. I gotta give a shout out actually to the guys at Halo Waypoint back in the day, because when Halo Reach was getting advertised, I was hella confused.
I don't think I knew like the timeline of things back in the day.
No,
I just knew this game, like the order of what they came out. I'm like, well, why are we fighting again?
I didn't understand until we got the first cutscene of Combat Evolved at the end of the game. That's when it clicked in my little brain as a child.
That's hilarious.
That's when it clicked.
Yeah, that's why I love Waypoint, because Waypoint at the time, they had this overview series that they were doing that was getting you prepped for Halo Reach. And there was one where the guys who were writing the plot were like, yeah, this story is taking place before Combat Evolved, and it tells you about one of the biggest battles that we talk about in a book, but now you get to live it. And I was like, oh, wow.
Not just a book, too. I mean, Reach is mentioned in Halo 2. It's mentioned in Halo 3 in I Would Have Been Your Daddy. Was
that for Reach?
Is that a normal voice line, or is that I Would Have Been Your Daddy?
No, it's normal.
Is that just in the game?
I'm pretty sure I've heard that one without I Would Have Been Your Daddy.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I know it's mentioned a few times. It makes you think a little bit that they were kind of like eventually going to go in the direction of explaining what happened here, that led to Combat Evolved and finding the first Halo.
To be honest, I'm kind of surprised that like just knowing how game storylines can go, I'm still surprised that when we're talking about the Battle of the Ark, the reason why the Battle of the Ark paid off so well was because Halo Combat Evolved to Halo 2, you get the setup of the Flood arriving and the Covenant really showing how dangerous they are right off rip. And then Halo 2 kicks off and you get to see that the Covenant made it to Earth and they immediately dog walk our home fleet. And you go to installation 03 and you fight there, or 05, you fight there. And you're basically experiencing all of these things in a sequence that makes a whole lot of sense, that explains the story as you go along from Halo Combat Evolved to 3, with a little bit of added context from Halo 3 ODST and Reach, which was the smart thing to do with your spinoff, is tie it into the main plot line. Which, don't even get me started on how many times I have to explain to people Halo 3 ODST is a Halo 2 sequel. They're like, but it says Halo 3. It's like, yeah, it has nothing to do with Halo 3. Don't worry about that.
No, it definitely more ties into what's going on in Halo 2.
It directly does. You can play up until if you beat Metropolis, you can stop right there, play through the entirety of ODST, and then continue on with the Heretic. You'll lost nothing, and everything still makes sense.
Yeah.
But then Halo 3 to 4 to 5 to Infinite, what I was expecting was genuinely some more expansion off of everything that happened beforehand with the Human Covenant War. Because Halo 3's ending, because after the Battle of the Ark, there's this moment that I really wanted to talk about here, which was this final speech that Lord Hood had with the Arbiter on this hilltop, where there's this memorial to heroes fallen, and Lord Hood does his little speech, and they do the 21 gun salute, but with like 6 dudes, and the Arbiter, shakes Lord Hood's hand, which is very significant because that is basically Thel displaying that he's very interested in peace by using human customs. The Sangheili have no concept of shaking hands, and they find it weird.
That is a good point. I never really thought about they shook hands and then they were on their way, but that is very much like God. For all we know, this Sangheili could have slapped each other in the face as a way of saying thank you.
Yeah,
if for that, and that could have been it. But shaking hands, who knows? That could have been the greatest gesture of an insult ever in their culture.
A realistic, actual thing that happened. That's a good example of this. I think it was George Bush. I don't remember what country he was in, but he finished one of his speeches in this country with the good old classic American peace sign, which in that country is a middle finger.
Oh, I remember this. Yes, it was misinterpreted. Everyone luckily knew, was like,
now watch this drive.
Yeah, it's just, thankfully everyone kind of understood, okay, this is just by definition blatant ignorance. It's not anything. He didn't mean any ill will, but by definition what he displayed was his ignorance of a different culture. And that's kind of it definitely is very, very telling that Arbiter was willing to shake his hand, but not only from face value, playing it as a little kid, yep, okay, cool, they want peace, but now this is an alien from across the galaxy adopting your customs and not even a few months ago he wanted to obliterate your entire race.
Yes, very, very telling. But the biggest thing is the date. You ever actually looked at the date when that scene happens?
No, when was the date?
It's 5 months after the end of the campaign.
Really?
Yeah, it's in March, which it's in March 2553, which the final mission of the campaign happens in November 2552.
So he just stuck around for almost half a year.
He didn't just stick around. He was basically in the midst of trying to quell what was already starting, which was the blooding years. The Sangheili civil war, basically, that we saw in Halo 5. That civil war gets kicked off in a novel called Halo Glasslands, and I just finished it finally because it took me so long to get through it just because of everything that's been happening over the last couple months. And I remember I was astonished by 2 things. One was this expansion of that scene. The final chapter has an expansion off that scene of the circumstances around the hill, the circumstances around the handshake, the circumstances around Arbiter and Lord Hood's relationship and the significance of that. Because what's happening at the time is humanity is trying its best to maintain its power, because after the defeat of the Covenant at the Ark, now the Covenant is completely destabilized. So what is it that Oni does? They instigate.
No, that checks.
They
We can't have them. We can't. No allegiances.
The Sangheili Civil War was partially caused by Oni.
I mean, we've talked about this. I don't know if it was season 1 or maybe sometime we talked about this very, very early on in the podcast. I don't believe we discussed it like in depth, and I don't think we had. And we might have had an episode on it.
Almost every bad thing that's ever happened in Halo
Oni.
can partially be attributed to something that happened in Oni. But the second thing that I noticed, completely off topic, it's implied that Guinness doesn't exist anymore in the 2500s. And I want to file a formal complaint.
What do you mean it's implied?
It's implied that
Like the drink or world records?
the drink.
The drink, Morty.
Monster. The drink.
I wish I could quote it, but not on air.
But
Oh, Lord. Monster.
the drink.
That doesn't get old.
Anyway, the implication was basically these two ODSTs are talking about how that some form of drink that they have, it tastes a lot like this archaic ancient beer.
They're talking about Guinness. Huh?
Yeah, and I'm
That's
like,
funny.
okay, listen, guys, you're telling me that the Irish wouldn't keep Guinness alive so long as they are around? Because we have like 3 different planets for the Hungarians. And who thinks about the Hungarians? So, like, the Irish would probably have, like, especially given their history of just,
Existing.
I was gonna say, let's say, spreading the gene pool a little bit.
That too. I am Irish myself.
Within 10 years of the Irish moving into America, about 60% of the population had Irish blood. So this is the thing. Ireland would have like 20 colonies. That's my call. So if they're going to be spreading their seed like crazy, they've got to be keeping Guinness alive. I refuse to take Karen Travis's take that Guinness just doesn't exist. That's just ridiculous.
The Irish would be too drunk to fly a spaceship. Both of you to assume that they wouldn't try to fly it anyway.
I mean, yeah, they would. They would probably fly it amazingly. They would live
my dream of hopping in the pilot seat of High Charity.
Gosh, that'd be fantastic. How is that project going, Steve? I thought you guys were making like.
It's a big ship.
I mean, if you're making it canon to size, then yeah, that might take a minute.
What do you mean? I didn't know this was a secret thing.
M key. M key. M key.
See, people just say things like, "I didn't know that was a secret."
You also spelled spoil wrong.
Dang.
There's no E at the end of spoil.
But still, the best part about what we see with this end of the battle, end of the arc, and all of this was essentially. Like I said, we talked about how it affected humanity and how it affected Sangheili, but with the fall of the Covenant, nowadays it's sort of like it's not really a loss because of one particular aspect that I was very excited to talk about as like a speculation sort of thing as to what's really going on. Have I mentioned? I'm sure I've said the words Order of Restoration already. But they are a thing, and likely, I'm going to guess, just like with Oni, the Order of Restoration had some form of influence in the downfall of the Covenant. Because that's what the Order of Restoration does. The Order of Restoration is not something that's been talked about very much so far. They're basically exclusively, right now, an Empty Throne, which not Empty Throne. Well, yes, Empty Throne. In Empty Throne, there's a lot of coverage on that book happening right now from Catalog on Chatternet. Highly recommend. I'm still listening through it myself, and I love all the talk about this novel. We have some things being talked about from that novel because as a quick little spoiler warning here, this is one particular aspect of the book that's a little bit crazy, but like it's not super spoilery. One of the main characters is a brute named Severin. You would love this guy.
He sounds cool.
Severin.
All you know is he's a brute.
Yeah, I heard brute. I'm like, that's a cool character.
He's all right to me.
Severin is incredibly smart. Like, battle tactics are his bread and butter. He knows how to read a room. He knows how to read people. He communicates very well. And he's the son of Tartarus.
Oh.
And this
Connor
dude
doesn't know who that is.
Yeah, I do.
He does. Don't let the one quiz show episode.
He doesn't know his
silhouette.
outlines. I'll say that.
He doesn't know his silhouette. That's for sure.
Still makes me mad.
But Tartarus's son, okay, which I suppose what we're getting at here is Tartarus. To quote what was his name? Syndrome. Got busy.
Syndrome.
Which I don't know how many kids brutes usually have. They haven't really addressed like if they have some sort of a lineage thing that they try to do. But right now, Severin's the only one.
An intelligent brute is very scary to think about.
Well, Atriox was up there, and I would say honestly, Severin is actually much more intelligent than Atriox. His intelligence is insane. He had at least 8 kids. That's awesome. But anyway, Severin is doing. He might be super smart, but he's also like one of the dumbest brutes on the planet and the galaxy at large, because despite all of these pros about him, there's the brutes have this concept. It's sort of branching off into a banished thing, but it started as like a brute thing called the Dascalo. The Dascalo is basically your mentor, your life coach, essentially. You are meant to respect and honor your Dascalo, listen to their every word, follow their command, and you will ideally become better through their guidance, and eventually you very well could become a Dascalo to another brute in that culture.
Brute godfather.
Essentially. And it's kind of grown from there to like just banished ideology where and these characters are like, you could be a Dascalo for, I think if I remember correctly, Ilsa Zane is a Dascalo now, or she has one. It could have been Escherum. Point is, she's involved with it now, which is just weird. And I'm already off with Ilsa Zane stuff. But Severin's Dascalo is a freaking Sanchium. And listen, I love this character. Dovo Nesto is his name, which is much easier to remember than all the other ones, except Laud Moron. I love that because it sounds like Laud Moron.
Lord Moron.
Lord Moron. Because it's Ordcasto, Laud Moron, and Hod Rumpt. Rumpt is mercy.
Oh, that's great.
Moron is regret, and Casto is truth. But freaking Dovo Nesto here is incredibly dangerous, and he is using Severin in order to bring back this thing called the Order of Restoration. Rise them back to power. They've been there this whole time. Basically, the Order of Restoration was this order of Sanchium, these prophets, that were secretly within the Covenant this entire time and secretly planning to bring back the concepts and the ideologies of the original Covenant, which was those Stoics versus the Reformists situation. So Reformist ideology brought back into the Covenant, and the Covenant consistently changing all this time was basically the Order of Restoration trying to get the Covenant back to its original beliefs and original power. It goes so deep within the Covenant that when the Covenant splinters, it's more like a brief bump in the road for the Order of Restoration because they have so much control. And it immediately got me thinking about so much with like how this could translate into mostly game plot line, how this could be like Intel versus Intel with Order of Restoration versus Oni type stuff, some serious espionage type stuff. But I'm scared that we're never going to get it because we're more interested, I guess, in telling these like small time stories. Because really, like, I know what Infinite was trying to be, but everything about Infinite in its surrounding plot is so deep. All of the books are so deep. The Memory Agent audio drama that leads up to Halo Infinite is so deep. And then Infinite is about as shallow as a map that I made in Halo 2 Anniversary.
It has its moments.
Some, I guess, but the deepest...
the whole Samuel thing.
That's not deep. Like, if you don't know anything about the lore, then you're just lost. If you know a little bit about the lore, then you understand. It's really not that deep. The deepest hits.
I guess I was thinking, like... I guess I was interpreting deep in a different way. I suppose.
This is the thing, right? This is the thing, is that Halo Infinite is a really good nostalgia game that really does a good job of expanding upon what you already know about Halo and tries to use that to tell its story in a way that makes it like, oh, I know that. Oh, I read that. But
I don't like nostalgia bait. I really don't.
Again, that's the thing. Then you go into a book like Empty Throne or the most recent release, Edge of Dawn, and neither of these books rely upon any form of that. They exclusively expand what you know. The Order of Restoration did not exist until Empty Throne. And then Jeremy Patinode, who probably has thought about the Order of Restoration as a concept since he started working at Halo back in 2010. And he finally got to bring it out in a novel. That's the kind of thing that I want in a game, because when I'm thinking of expansion, when I'm thinking about bringing out the lore, Halo 3 might not be the deepest thing on the planet, but it gave us something new with the concept of the Sangheili learning to befriend the humans because they had fought the humans so long that they knew how resilient of an enemy they would be. So this is where I'm getting at to wrap all of this up. The Sangheili learned human customs, not the other way around. The Sangheili understood that they needed to be our friends because we had just proven that we could do the absolute impossible. So after everything that happened with the Ark, after everything like that, yes, the Sangheili were absolutely essential in winning that battle, but the Sangheili likely believed that we would have just won anyway because we should have lost 20 years ago and we just refused to lose.
Here's the thing, like... Humanity lasted all that time, yes, but they were pretty much losing the entire time.
but we didn't lose.
No, but we didn't. We were on the cusp of it. They found Earth by complete accident. The Covenant did, and if the schism didn't happen to happen when it did, the schism could have been like if the schism was like a week later, humanity probably would have gone extinct.
Maybe, but that's the thing is that we don't even know what sort of operations Oni had in its back pockets even to try to help with it. Because like they had like one of the dumbest plans that we've ever heard from them was this thing called Operation Red Flag, which the plan is simple. Let's take all of our Spartans, throw them at one ship. Okay, once we have that Covenant ship, now we're going to just take that Covenant ship to High Charity and kidnap a prophet.
All right. It probably would have worked.
Probably not, because they obviously don't need all three of their prophets.
That's fair. Here's the thing. The Covenant didn't know that at the time. You send Blue Team in there to go get... I'm trying to think. Like I'm trying to choose a prophet.
At the time of Red Flag, you would have like 15 Spartans or more. I'm
trying to think like what prophet seems the most squeamish. Probably Mercy. I feel like if you kidnap Mercy would buckle like a lawn chair.
Honestly,
I feel like Mercy would cave.
I think Mercy wouldn't be as cognitively present as we would want him to be for that. So I probably would pick Regret, just because Regret looks like he talks a lot of garbage, but can't back any of it up.
He looks like he would sell out the Covenant's deepest secrets to save his own skin.
Especially since, like, you think about whenever he got taken by the Grave Mind and he was kept alive by him, and he's like, "No, we can't do it until my sermon is complete."
Like, shut up! Your biomass go away. In truth, like even like right as Truth was dying, like he was still in like full blown denial.
I'm dying.
Wow, this episode has come full circle. The episode has come full. Somebody better be dying.
I'm dying.
I'm dying.
Oh, we got to make a meme out of that somehow. We got to make a Halo meme with that.
But anyway, that's kind of where I wanted to kind of take this conversation was the end of the Battle of the Ark. Yes, the battle itself is significant, but the biggest moments happen when we expand upon the relationship between Sangheili and the humans and just how much the Covenant is actually really not affected by that loss. The battle itself is significant, but in context, or current context, the next Halo game could easily bring back a lot of the stakes and the weight of the original trilogy by just utilizing what some of the new stories have been bringing out. So
I want there to be all throughout Halo Infinite. Like I know, like the main concern was like, hey, make sure the Banished don't have control of the ring, so they can't use it as a weapon. That whole time, I'm like, I understand the stakes are big, but it never felt big. I like deep down, I always didn't. I'm like, 343 don't have the balls to pull the trigger on a Halo ring firing. Like I did not. I'm like sure. And unfortunately, Halo Infinite ended the most cliche way possible for me.
If the rings did fire, at that point, everything's going to be a prequel.
Well, yes. Everything is going to be dead supposedly. A lot of people have also they've also hinted at time travel, which is getting a little bit that gets dicey.
well, it's not even a hint.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's hardly a hint. Chief was what didn't he like jumped like what he was missing.
He jumped forward 3 days.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think about half a week was what it was, and Fernando was like, "Oh, there you just casually. Oh, there you are. You've been missing for 3 days." Like, bro didn't give up and go home. He was just looking on the ring for 3 days, while fully aware the Banished still had control of the rest of the ring. It was weird. I am slightly concerned about like what this might mean for like. I hope they start like retconning deaths.
Oh, I don't think so. No,
I don't. Yeah,
Halo
and
its Halo's relationship with time travel is not the same as something like, let's say, Star Trek.
I was thinking more or less like the MCU.
No, that's much more egregious. I think if Halo ever did do time travel, they would probably handle it the same way Star Trek does, which is much more respectful. The concepts of time travel within Halo is that it's so preposterous that it simply gets ignored. The greatest example of time travel that we've had so far was in Halo First Strike, where in this novel, this ship that this surviving crew is on gets pulled into slip space, but Halsey has this weird slip space crystal that messes with slip space, so it's kind of a weird, jank, freaky version of slip space. So when they get into a space battle in the middle of traveling through slip space, which is just as cool as it sounds, by the way, when they exit slip space, they are for some reason 2 weeks in the past. But it doesn't matter because they're out in the middle of nowhere and it takes them a very long time to get back to human space. So time travel didn't really matter in that circumstance. And when it comes to what happened to Master Chief, yeah, is it significant that by his cognitive understanding and his awareness and by the weapons understanding and awareness, they suddenly jumped forward 3 days in time? Sure. But if you jump forward in time, that's realistically the only thing you could possibly do.
I still don't understand how that like happened. Like they killed what's her name?
Harbinger.
Yeah. And then they were trying to get out of the cave because the cave was like coming down or something. Is that how that happened? I literally have played Halo Infinite's campaign.
Yeah, the silent auditorium was collapsing
Yes.
and suddenly a portal opened up.
Yep.
And they go through the portal and it sent them 3 days into the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At a different location on the ring entirely.
Which is, yeah. I
Yep.
was gonna say it has been. Halo Infinite's been out for half a decade now.
Yeah.
2021. That is asinine. how much time has passed. I remember the March forward from Halo 5 to Halo Infinite felt like an eternity. And now we are almost to the gap that Halo 5 had to Halo Infinite.
But thankfully, we do have Halo Campaign Evolved coming.
That is coming this year, right?
Yeah.
2026. I'd probably imagine like fall, like holiday time. That's usually when they release those games, right?
Everything kind of releases in the fall. I feel like.
I feel like the big AAA games around Thanksgiving.
I'm fairly certain it's set
Christmas.
for November.
I was gonna say that sounds about right.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the official abbreviation for it now is Halo CR, if I remember correctly.
I'm not big on the name.
I can't remember. I'm not either. I wish it was just Halo.
No, they should have just named it. Yeah, Halo. Because now I'm wondering, like, I'm seeing more and more rumblings online if they're gonna do, they're just gonna redo the entire original trilogy, because like, and a lot of it I think is probably because of the PlayStation, like it coming to PlayStation. Like they want to give PlayStation players a good entryway to the franchise that feels up to date, and still keeps them like in the loop of the story, while also giving the original players something to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I really do. I'm really excited about the 3 additional missions, but I'm still like, the name just sounds like a mod.
Yeah, no, it does.
It sounds like a mod.
Sounds like something I'd download off the Steam Workshop, and it may or may not work.
I really want to talk about some of the mods that I found. I should really like do that as a series. Anyway, that's pretty much the gist of it for the topic today. So we're going to hop over into our Patreon segment, start reading off some names and answer some Q&A. We're coming up soon on the finale of our quiz show as well. So for the winners who have taken the victory for previous episodes, in about 5 weeks, be prepared because you're going to be doing a final. And I'm going to try my best to get the date out there for the people who won so that we can plan that properly. So stay tuned for that. It'll be a great time. And otherwise, we got to get on to acknowledging our Patreon and getting into the quiz, or not quiz, the Q&A. So we're going to head over now into our...
Here's another fun factoid. So, autoimmune conditions probably mean that one of your ancestors was better at surviving the plague. There's like been a study, or like, you know, people have researched this, and apparently like having a more productive immune system that identifies threats a little bit more was, you know, beneficial for surviving catastrophic pandemics. But now, as the years have gone by, those like kind of like overvigilant immune systems have become autoimmune conditions. So, you know, it's interesting how as like medicine gets better, like certain things that were actually pretty good and like increased your chances of survival just become inconvenient.
Patreon.
Patreon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That. So.
See, Fat Batman's already going to start out with be prepared.
Be prepared. For what? For the death of the king. Oh.
I don't know. I feel like this might be a good one. We've got a few people who are, at least 2 people who seem to be excited for this.
Okay. All right, so let's kick it off. We got it kicked off with our top tier Patreon supporters, which thank you very much for those of you who have been staying at our top tier. You guys are awesome. Some of you are actually getting some merch sent to you soon, so get excited for that, because as a reminder, for those of you who are higher enough on our Patreon tier, we've made it now so that the shirts that we no longer can sell can now be just given out on Patreon. The goal is still to make it so that you can still get these shirts at certain events. If we can get them printed out and such, we can just hand them out for free. Donation box will probably be there if you feel like doing something with that, but it'll be given out for free. And then we'll have other shirts that we're going to be working on to actually sell. So anyway, it's Default456, Scion Esports, Dark Sally 42, the one, the only, Dick Hammerbush.
Yeah. There was some weirdo that just drove by the studio and screamed, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was a Mustang. Gundam is just neurospicy child soldiers in space. I've not interacted with Gundam enough to know anything about that.
I've only watched Neon Genesis.
Vagalon.
I only Evangelion.
Yeah.
Anyway,
pretty good, but the creator lost his mind towards the end of the show.
That's unfortunate.
It showed.
Oh. The 2 girls Shane hired for the garage people. Shane, hide your wallet from Cheyenne. What?
Yeah, no, this is, I forgot, you haven't been present. This is an ongoing thing.
Is this what it feels like to not be in the in-joke?
I guess.
What happened?
I don't know. No, I just came back. I was away 1 week. It was a few weeks back where I was away around holiday time. And then I came back, and then this was just a thing. And I've been asking for context. I haven't given none.
Okay, well then there we
is
go.
No context.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Send help. I'm trapped with a brute in a Denny's.
Just give him some food.
Plenty of pancakes. Cool Blaze. ODST. ODS. ODST. ODST. ODS. ODST. I may resub to Smut due to poor impulse control. Don't you do it. Give me that pickle. Halo 3 Ratted Lactation, Connor Clark, Thomas Lane, Dylan, Lactating Milcom T, James Loves Connor, John Dowsett, Father Ungoy, head of the Church of Ungoy, the UNSC Gunship Oops All Max.
That's a good one.
That's a great
I'm
one.
a fan of that.
Oops All Max. That's beautiful. I love that. You know who else loves Halo? My mom. My voice can't handle it right now. Jags O'Malley, Sky Cairo, the Big Moose demands justice for Betty and Malu. Yeah, we do. Slap Nuts, my name is Austin. Random Sveed, please join the book club. The 5 regulars need more people to converse with. Shade Communications, Durandal, my Feyru is a rescue. I still love that one so much. It's so good. Apple Juice 01, just to explain the Feyru word, like the ancient version of dogs in the ancient humanity section of time. And also we're connected to the start of the flood. Anyway. Apple Juice 01, Shane's Kigyar Harem, Franklin Mendez, Lone Blaziken. How does a Kigyar Harem work, Shane?
You don't want to know. That's a lot of M keys. That's a lot of M keys.
Hot take, Shane should be the main host. Noble 6 meeting the rest of Noble Team. Super Frogan, and actually, my man, I was gone. So, like, how would you feel about being the main host?
Fascinating.
You would feel fascinating?
I'd feel fascinated.
Okay. That's that. Okay, fair enough. Super Frozen Yogurt Dispenser, Rocky Mountain Ungoisters, Master Cheeks, Hammer Dick Bush, Grunts are crabs with nipples, Master Beef's making a hot tea for Austin. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that was after you walked away the other week.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. I never got it. Corbin Havener, Damian Groth, Humble Rumble Drug Salesman, Aussie ODST, Help Me Austin Juan Kenobi, your book club's only hope. I'm hoping I can pop back in this week, but I keep saying that and something happens, so maybe I should stop saying that because it's not helpful at all. Okay, next up is Vermin. How's the butt shot, Shane?
Well, haven't got it yet.
There you go.
It's my allergy shot I get every spring.
What a wonderful tradition.
It's not. I work an office job. I have to sit the whole day after. It's not.
Standing desk.
I got to get a standing desk.
Let me tell you, as a proud owner of one, there are 2 things in this world that I usually say clearly you don't own about.
An air fryer.
Clearly you don't own an air fryer. Clearly you don't own a standing desk.
I have one of those 2. I have an air fryer.
It's a good thing to invest in. Shane's big voluptuous salami nips.
Yeah, that one has just yeah, that one has been a thing for a few weeks as well.
It's amazing. 077 Loquacious Observer. Ethan, that always makes you chuckle every single time.
What?
Loquacious Observer.
I don't think there's any more involving me. I think that's it. I think.
Oh, now they're all going to be about
I was
you.
gonna say next week is going to be.
Ethan Chaplin Strife, the diseased Austin brain cell is the first step of a flood outbreak. Thanks. I'm looking forward to being patient 0. Zilla Lactation Decovatamide, Girl Dad Sam, breaking news. A triangle has 3 sides.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Since when?
Sounds a bit obtuse.
That's not. That's an angle. That's not a triangle. That's an angle.
Obtuse triangles exist.
But it's based off the angle.
You gotta stop being so obtuse over there, all right?
Shane, why are you looking so acute?
Just continue.
Drunk Silvari, I'm huffing the ongoing methane tanks. I sure feel like it. Huragak Rossum, would you like yodeling pickles? Where are you, Kyle? Kiri, Preacher, Iskari, Matt Jeremy, Spartan Alex 30, Dangle Muskrat was found guilty of 17 new war crimes and has been exiled to the clouds via Matt Cannon at Mock Jesus. Unfortunate, buddy. I feel bad for the freaking muskrat. Schnoogans requests a random fact, please. Connor?
Oh, boy.
You have enough niche interests to have a random fact.
Give us something about a car.
The Mustang has 3 different engines.
Like in the...
In the lineup, there's the EcoBoost 4-cylinder, there's the V6, and the V8. Oh, and I can't forget about the supercharged one as well. There's 4. I forgot about one.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
Random fact plus random addendum.
There's your random fact.
Boomerang, Apple, Hey Austin, Insane Rage Bait, Fish Dough, Coyote, PFC Dustin Echoes, all units be advised. Another JumperScape member was brought into this world as of 11:44 p.m. on January 19th. Over. Well, congratulations.
Congrats.
I'm glad you're already identifying them with us. That's dangerous.
Yeah, bold of you to put that in the list of Patreon names.
Yeah, have fun explaining the whole lactation lore.
Oh, gosh. Well, technically, it's a baby. It's already exploring that by itself already.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You know, when it eventually gains
Not guaranteed.
when it eventually gains consciousness.
I'm not gonna fall for this one. It's one of those humongous type of jokes. Who's Dixon? I'm just gonna say the first name.
I'm glad I literally just said I came across that one last week when I was reading the names.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Austin probably wouldn't want me to read that. So I skipped over it.
World champion pasta rocket mechanic. I've got a bottle of tequila and the keys to high charity. Let's go.
Sick invite.
Pick me up.
Is it mezcal? Because I'll take some mezcal. Infinity class milk carrier lactational sensation, Nara Nomad, Dragonfire, Dark Matter whiskey, Artas Vadum discounted dental care, T-Pass party grunt birthday sound effects. Lord of Awesome, Danimal is sorry about the go girth. I
didn't like that.
Didn't like that at all. To be honest, though, that's probably my biggest problem that I had with Go-Gurt was the fact that it didn't have very much girth at all. It had like no yogurt in it.
No, they were just they were thin.
Yeah, but as a kid, you're like, yeah, this is fantastic. But then you get older and you're like, man,
It was getting skimped.
yeah. Like I had a Capri Sun 5 years ago, and I was sorely disappointed.
Oh no, because you can
just
3 big switch
gone.
and it's gone. Respect the pouch.
You're not the target audience.
No, we're not the target audience.
But the
anymore.
things that I am the target audience for are fire. Let me tell you that much. Holding it up 3, 2, 1. Zekrom 156, Rye Your Mom's Son, Night Fox, Parker Ortman, Biggest Mac, and last but never least, Warm Apple Swamp.
I miss Linda Marie.
I also miss Linda Marie. I'm pretty sure we scared her off, but
He's probably doing well.
I'm sure of it. Were there any of these questions that people wanted to go back to for my answer, or are we all good?
I'm pretty sure last week we kind of if James saw anything that like was directly pertained to you, we didn't answer it.
Oh, well, he didn't mark which one.
I told him to. I told him to mark which ones were made for you.
Oh, well, he didn't do that.
Nice. Well, just look for ones that aren't marked. And go from there.
Well, let's see. I can at least try to go and answer some of the ones that could be answered by me. Okay. How did you guys answer how would each of you handle the Kobayashi Maru scenario from Turbo Furby?
I don't think we did answer it.
You didn't?
I don't think we did.
Okay, well, the Kobayashi Maru scenario was developed by Spock, first of all, and it's basically an impossible situation, which, thankfully, I don't need to try to remember because he wrote it out actually entirely right here. So the Kobayashi Maru scenario in Star Trek is where you receive a distress signal of a disabled civilian ship with 300 lives on board in a neutral zone. Any military vessel that enters the neutral zone will be seen as an act of war by the Klingons. So it comes down to a question of whether you will risk the lives of you, your crew, your ship, and the possibility of war, or avoid the neutral zone and risk the lives of hundreds of civilians. It's supposed to be a no-win scenario. So how would you handle the Kobayashi Maru scenario? And you can't answer with whatever Kirk did.
I think me and James might have answered that one. Is that the one that you pretty much had to use, like, choose between, like, civilians or... Read it again.
Sure. And Connor, make sure you're listening to this as well. I want your answer. The Kobayashi Maru is a scenario in Star Trek where you receive a distress signal of a disabled civilian ship with 300 lives on board in a neutral zone. The neutral zone being this zone between two different...
but I'll answer it again.
Any military vessel that enters the neutral zone will be seen as an act of war by the Klingons. So it comes down to a question of whether you will risk the lives of you, your crew, your ship, and the possibility of war, or avoid the neutral zone and risk the lives of hundreds of civilians. It's supposed to be a no-win scenario.
What has the highest casualty rate in this?
Probably if you attack, because you'll start war.
Yeah,
I would probably. It would be mad unfortunate, but I don't think I would be willing to start the war.
Let's rev up the economy. Let's get it going.
I would certainly attempt to rescue these lives, and I would try to negotiate with the Klingons. That would probably be my approach to it, assuming that I also didn't think of what Kirk did. But Kirk is the only captain in the entirety of Starfleet to have ever successfully accomplished a win scenario in the Kobayashi Maru scenario. But that's because he cheated. But anyway, let's see. Is there any of these that I could go over? What is the natural life expectancy of each species in the Covenant from Coyote? I don't know. I mean,
we answered that one too. Did he not mark that?
No, he marked it. I'm looking through the ones that you already went through to see because he marked every single one of them.
Fair enough.
So it makes me think that I probably could answer some of these, and I couldn't answer that one. I'll tell you that much.
We used Google for that one.
That's understandable. Halopedia probably went crazy when you guys did.
That's pretty much what we looked it up on.
That's hilarious. This one isn't marked, so I'm going to assume that this was one that this is one of the unmarked. This is one of the unmarked ones. Flamethrower asked, Connor, give me a number now.
9.
Wow. Okay. Flamethrower asked, how do the reds and blues fit into Operation Red Flag? Does anyone remember what I explained Red Flag as?
Something that sits there in the wind.
Okay, not that. This is an operation. This is a very dumb operation that I described.
15 Spartans.
All of the Spartans. I don't even know how many there are. All of them.
They take a Covenant cruiser.
Yes.
Fly it into High Charity.
Yep, wherever it is.
Grab a prophet.
Yep.
Of unknown choice.
And use them as a hostage.
Yes.
That is the plan.
That is indeed the plan.
The reds and blues wouldn't fit into the operation whatsoever, I think, but I also think it would be Caboose's fault.
I don't know what would be his fault, but
something would be his fault. Something would be his fault. All right. Master Beef asked, pick a Spartan and make a drink recipe after them.
We did that one.
Did this one.
Y'all
think
didn't
I did
mark it.
Mountain
James didn't mark it. God. James did not. James.
Oh, the flag worshippers. Yeah, that'd be so funny. Well, if we're picking a Spartan, did you pick George?
Actually, no. I chose Chief.
You chose Chief? Why didn't you pick George?
Because I figured Mountain Dew and Everclear would sound like fun.
That was indeed his answer.
That's so freaking funny.
I didn't have like a good idea. I wanted to do something with like I wanted to use like smoked bourbon of some kind with maybe a hint of cinnamon. I don't know exactly.
For a meal?
Huh? Probably.
Oh.
Something like a really, really bright, vibrant looking bourbon. With some smoked wood.
See, with my drink, it's like having it the first time, every time.
Yeah, because you don't remember the last time you drank it. You don't remember. James gave a very intricate answer because he was the only bartender.
I think yeah. I would choose Jerome, and I think Jerome would have a very similar drink. For those of you who know it, would probably have a very similar drink to that of the Jackie Wells from Cyberpunk 2077. All right. Mr. Horace Heresy asks, which species would be the best at ping pong? I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Sangheili would absolutely dominate everybody.
No, hear me out. I'm taking Huragok.
That's actually fair. They can move those little tendrils really fast.
What I'm saying. I'm taking Huragok.
They can move so fast.
They have like 5 paddles and just...
Yeah, and not only that, but again, they can move super fast. They actually have their own sign language, and their sign language moves really, really fast.
Yeah, I'm taking Huragok. I'm definitely taking Huragok.
Now, Connor, please explain what it would be like to watch a brute try to play ping pong.
He's just gonna destroy the table. This
All
ain't
right,
worth
I'm
my
serving.
time.
All right, I'm serving it. Brute just wants to go right by. Just takes his fit.
Although it would be funny, it'd be like the one giant prisoner from The Longest. They're just
Oh, you know that was a WWE wrestler, right?
yeah, I
That
forget
was
his name.
The Great Khali.
The Great Khali.
That's who it was.
Freaking-
There's like 5 WWE wrestlers in that movie.
A brute goes for a slap shot. There are casualties.
Sir, why am I looking at the death report? Why does it say a ping pong ball was thrown at mock Jesus through his head?
Gerald Hanai.
He used gravity
Sorry,
tech on.
speak up, Gerald Hanna.
He used gravity tech on his paddle.
Oh my god.
All right. Next up is Senator Fox haloing it, asking, "What would you name your UNSC Paris class heavy frigate?" I think we've named our frigates in
We've
the
answered
past.
this a few times.
Kind
I
of different
believe.
versions of this question.
Yes.
If I was going to name and just a frigate, first of all, the Oops All Mac rounds was the best, and I don't think I could beat that. But Shane, you should just name yours the UNSC Buckeye.
Sure. We'll go with that. Why not?
UNSC FFG, whatever number combo you want, Buckeye.
UNSC broadside.
No, yours is gonna
Broadside.
be yours is gonna be the UNSCTE. That's what yours is gonna be.
I'm gonna go with.
Change it to the UNSC blindside.
I'm gonna bring out my Assassin's Creed love, and I'm going to name it the UNSC FFG 583 Jackdaw. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, Disaster Chief, that's awesome,
That's a great name.
asks, "What's your thoughts on nixing, getting rid of," thank you, I know what nixing means, "the Halo from Halo 4 and onward? I know Halo Studios isn't going to do this, but I was wondering your opinions. Also, that would be going back to the year 2552 and pretending like Master Chief is on the Pillar of Autumn in the middle of nowhere. No.
Absolutely not.
Uh,
The only Halo. Well, did it say after Halo, like Halo 4 and onward? Is that what it said?
yeah, basically everything 343. This is a very common thing that I've heard for years, was people being like, we should just say that everything 343 did wasn't canon. No.
Because Halo 4 added so much depth to the story.
For better or for worse, all of the games added something to the
100%.
story.
Even as much as I dislike Halo 5, like it did contribute to what is currently happening in the timeline.
In order to retcon those games, you would also have to retcon, first of all, Hunt the Truth, and I will kill anyone who wants that to happen.
Well, that also includes Halo Wars 2, and I don't want
and
that
Halo
at all.
Wars 2.
Yeah, no, absolutely
and
not.
25 plus novels, because a lot of the novels came out in the 343 era.
Get rid of the novels thing. Is it really all that bad?
Okay, how about this? The movies too. Forward Unto Dawn has to go.
I mean, that's a lot of books.
I'm not sacrificing Forward Unto Dawn. Absolutely,
Because
not.
there's too many good things that came out in the 343 era that I would never want to retcon.
Forward Unto Dawn and Halo 4 both have a special place in my heart.
But that's the thing. This is the thing that I'm always thinking of, is that, yeah, it's not great, but you just build off of it and improve it. You don't just get rid of whatever was bad and try something else, because you know what that leads to? Spartan Agrina. I don't care about Agrina at all. Like I've tried my best to really like buckle down and care, but I'm like, where's Palmer? Why is this random chick the commander for these Spartans on this random facility? And why is this facility so unprepared for an attack? The Battle for the Academy short story, I've read through it so carefully, and I can't help but think, just sitting there like, this is a training facility for Spartans. Why is there not a single plan in place to fix this, to prevent this from happening? It's so weird. And I love Palmer. So like trying to replace Palmer because she wasn't received well in Halo 4, or just basically make her a smaller role in Halo 5. It's like, that's not how you're going to fix your problem. You got to make your characters more interesting if they're starting to fail. you can't just get rid of him entirely.
I'm thinking. I immediately think about Locke. I was really.
Locke had a lot of potential.
I was really excited to see what they would do with Locke and Halo Infinite.
Plus, his backstory is so interesting with him being an Oni agent that attempted to assassinate Thel 'Vadam. But we don't talk about that in the game.
Well, we don't even see Thel 'Vadam in the game.
Well, we do in Halo 5. But
Halo. I'm thinking Halo Infinite. Like what?
No,
I'm thinking about all the characters that are not present.
That's the crazy thing to me, though, is that Halo 5, Arbiter doesn't even acknowledge that Locke was his assassin, but he knows that there was he knows there was an assassination attempt on him, and he knows it was Locke. So, like, why didn't we talk about this?
I mean, there's a lot of books.
It is talked about in a book.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
All right. Next question comes from JB the Don $, asking, should I move into Shane's garage or Connor's attic? Before we answer this, someone else answered Austin's basement, to which Jay replied, he has one? Where do you think the show is recorded?
Yeah, that's where the studio is. I would suggest my garage. I would not suggest Connor's attic. I don't think Connor even has an attic.
Never seen Connor's attic. He has to have an attic.
He hasn't. Your dad has an attic in the office. But that is not ideal.
There's the office, and then at home where we used to party at all the time. In the garages, just 2 of them.
Wow. Anyway, the Fat Batman, 5 questions to go, asks, do you hang your toilet paper overhand or the incorrect way? Over. Because I genuinely have thought about the psychology of this. People who do it the other way just like to make their life harder for no reason. Because if it's overhand, you can just, and it will be available to you. If you do that, the end is just going to flip, 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 flip. And then you have to do like an underhand thing, but then you have to reach around behind the toilet paper to actually rip it. Why would you do that?
I'm not a big old fan of the good reach around, so.
I was waiting. I was waiting.
The toilet paper, of course.
The toilet paper, of course. Slapnuts asks, is there a remix of a song that you enjoy more than the original song? Yes. I could think of 3 right now.
Yeah, there's a rapper that I listen to that made a good living off of remixing several popular songs from like 2017 to 2019.
Sicko Mode, I think Skrillex did one. Was it Skrillex?
Yes.
Yeah, Skrillex.
So I have 3. Number 1.
That's just off the top of my head.
Number 1, the game has changed from Tron Legacy, produced by Daft Punk, has a remix from Glitch Mob. That is the best remix on the remix album. Then the second one that came to my mind is the same song, Sicko Mode, but instead of the Skrillex remix, the better remix, because Skrillex did a good job, but the best remix is the Guy Arthur remix. Not even close. Guy Arthur made like 3 different songs out of that one remix. It was very impressive. And then the third one that comes to mind is actually Post Malone and 21 Savage Rockstar Crank That remix. That remix is phenomenal. Anyway, Turbo Furby is back asking, G1 Megatron or Beast Wars Megatron, who wins in a fight? The setting is the arc during Beast Wars, and G1 Megatron in this case turns into a tank. Otherwise, it'd be T-Rex versus Gun. Fair.
I wasn't in the Transformers enough to know that. I was
going to say that's a you question.
G1, baby, G1.
I only know movies Megatron.
Movies Megatron is probably the weakest.
They're all any movie character of anything or TV show
except Transformers 1 Megatron. That dude is awesome.
The very first, there were so many times during the first Transformers, like my family, like the first time they let me watch it, they watched it with me, and they were like, "This isn't exactly a kid's movie."
It is not.
No.
It was so very not.
No, Megan Fox.
The prime Megan Fox.
Megan Fox was my awakening. Prime Megan Fox working on trust
neuron
me,
activation.
Whenever it comes to plot, the concept that Sam Witwicky fumbled that for some other chick in the third film.
I think that they just didn't want to bring her back.
I think Megan Fox didn't want to come back, but that did not matter to me.
She did not like the director, and she did not. She willingly chose to not come back. And then after the movie came out, she regretted it, apologized.
Good, because she would have been perfect because she was already.
She already is.
Like whenever it comes to when it came to the plot line of the Michael Bay films and the relationship that she had with Sam, dude, the second movie. And how that got expanded was so sick, but that's besides the point.
I remember sitting there when
Her and Shia LaBeouf had very good chemistry.
Mhm.
I remember thinking to myself in the movie, like, how do you fumble that?
And it's not even how did he fumble that? How did Sam get that? This is the real question. By being super awkward and somewhat funny. And
because that was a trauma bond.
If you watch the movie, he's got more game than you probably remember. Because
I haven't seen the movie.
I watched those recently, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's how." Like he actually did a pretty good job. But the thing is, when I say Transformers 1, I'm not talking about like Transformers, the Michael Bay first film. I'm talking about the new movie that just came out a couple of years ago, Transformers 1. Have you watched that?
No. Is it good?
It's amazing. It is amazing.
Is it like the 3D animated one?
Yeah,
something
and the trailer,
I've seen clips for it.
the trailer did not do that movie justice. I went and saw it, and I was like jaw dropped for like the entirety of the last act. It was so good. It's never going to get a sequel because the people who did the marketing sucked at their job. Yeah, see, there's a shot from Transformers 1 of Megatron becoming Megatron. It's so freaking sick. Anyway.
Yeah, weren't they showing like a whole war that happened or something?
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, JB the Don $ is back with a very, very long wall of text here. Let me see. Master Chief versus Doom Guy.
Doom Guy wins.
And why Master Chief wins, hear me out.
This isn't a question.
I can't hear you out on this.
He wrote a fanfic for me to read here. So
how do they nerf Doom Guy?
I'm not sure if this. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna hope that this ties in because I can't really tell by skimming it. Genesis trembled under shifting hard light as Master Chief closed in on the armored figure tearing through Promethean forces. The Doomslayer wasn't communicating, wasn't hesitating, just destroying anything that moved. Cortana's voice echoed through the domain-linked channels. John, he's locked into a single directive. He sees everything as a threat. Chief watched the Slayer crush a knight's core with his bare hands. Then we give him a new target. Chief sprinted across unstable platforms, firing bursts to draw the Slayer's attention. The Titan charged with terrifying speed, smashing through supports and destabilizing the terrain exactly as Chief planned. The chase pushed them toward the central spire, where the domain's energy well pulsed like a living storm. The conduit is opening, Cortana warned. If he falls in, the domain will contain him. Chief reached the edge as the Slayer lunged. At the last second, he triggered remote charges planted along the path. The ground collapsed beneath the Slayer, momentum carrying him into the swirling abyss. Chief fired a M41 spanker at Doom's chest plate mid-fall, ensuring he dropped straight into the heart of the domain.
That's where I say he
The light swallowed the Slayer whole. Cortana's voice softened. He's trapped. For a millennia at least. Chief exhaled. Let's hope that's long enough.
He's immortal. He's gonna. First of all, he can, like in the game, he can run almost as fast as his missiles.
Yeah, there's not really a hear me. There's not really. There's not really he said, "Oh God, you guys don't get it." What do you mean?
Not gonna worry about it. Anyway, next question comes from Mr. Horace Heresy with 3 more to go. If Johnson was an alien, what kind of alien would you think he'd be?
If who?
If Johnson was an alien, Sergeant Johnson.
Like an alien from the Halo universe?
Sure. He just says an alien.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
my boy is a good old classic big-eyed green alien. The big old head.
Whatever ET is. Whatever ET is.
I'm gonna hit him with Wat Tambor.
He's the alien. No, he's the alien that danced to Money Longer. That meme. Which one? What was his name again?
I don't remember. I just know him from the alien from all the memes I've seen.
Yeah, I forget what his name was, but
I'll go with your answer.
I don't even know he had a name.
That's whoever he is.
I remember me and James being obsessed with that meme.
No, it was because it was hilarious.
It was so freaking funny.
And it sucks because like Money Longer is like trending right now because of the whole 2016 trend right now.
Oh my
So like, it's Fetty Wap and 2016 Lil Uzi is trending right now.
What's really funny is we actually have a machinima where that alien makes an appearance.
Yeah, we do.
And James
Funtage Remastered.
Yeah, James is like, he's telling me I have to kill you. Anyway, next question comes from Parker0922 asking, who would win in a fight? Connor with a gravity hammer and the control of the banished army, James with high charity, Shane with a nuclear warhead, or Austin with all the Spartans under his control?
I'm taking me with a nuclear warhead.
But I don't think a nuclear warhead's taking out high charity.
He didn't say there was enemies in it.
He just said there's high charity.
Yeah.
And also specifically, it's written James with a high charity.
How does it say? Does it say I have a single nuclear warhead or Shane with nuclear warheads?
A nuclear warhead.
Even though if you do hit it with the nuclear warhead, you can just be at the top of it. Just it must be windy.
Well, here's the thing. James can't kill me with only high charity. My nuke is going to probably kill you and all of the banished.
Yeah.
So I'm still taking me. I'm taking me.
Are we just ignoring that I have all the Spartans?
Well, Spartans can be killed by a nuke.
They can be, but they're smart enough to not be in the blast radius.
Well, unfortunately for you, that's not really up to them. If I just drop it right on their head and they don't know about
Unless they strategize around like not being all in the range.
What if they all have armor lock?
Armor lock does no.
Armor lock and a bubble shield at the same time.
Okay, now we're talking, but this is different stuff entirely. Putting aside Forerunner BS tech that Spartans would probably try to access. Same thing goes for Banish these days. I think probably James and Shane are the most dunzo.
Because it's just me. I just have a nuke.
Genuinely, I think Shane has the shortest stick in this whole thing because, like, even if he does wipe out me and my army and Connor's army, high charity really would be just untouched by any nuke whatsoever because it's too big.
Well, unless I found, like, power reactors and let it off there, that would just cause a chain reaction.
The reactor is essentially, like... The high charity that we destroyed did not actually get like destroyed. It's still fine.
I don't even need to destroy it. I just need it to not have power.
I suppose so. It's just more like high charity is powered by if this is a prime time high charity, it's being powered by the Forerunner Dreadnought, which is not. It's indestructible.
If Shane had a Nova Bomb, nobody wins.
Nova Bomb can destroy planets. That is true. That is quite a Nova Bomb.
And where's Shane at when this nuke goes off?
Probably ground zero.
Tucked away in my garage, playing Sly Cooper on my PlayStation 2 is where I'm at.
That's crazy. I win.
I just got a tweet. I won.
Just got a tweet.
There was an Ungoy on the planet of Reach that just looked up and watched this transpire.
I managed to send off one last tweet before I go, and it's simply, I'm not posting that, bro. All right. Last question here from Spartan2 Slip 187 asking, who would be who if the Jumper crew, including the mods and the chatter hosts, were characters from Red vs. Blue? Brother, that is so many people. Because that's
we've designated ourselves characters.
We have. The thing is that like they're asking to include the hosts and like the Chatternet hosts and the mods.
We don't want to sit here for 30 minutes doing that.
That is in total about 20 people, not including us.
Yeah, I got enough fingers for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with answering just for you guys. Can feel free to answer that question for yourselves. But for the three of us,
are there any like mods or anyone that sticks out that you'd be like, yeah, that man?
I don't want to pick favorites by any means. I'd rather just tell everyone no. Sorry, no. Connor, you are the most caboose-like person I've ever met in my entire life.
Take that as you will. Take that as you will.
Every time someone has tried to take the podium,
the mantle,
unfortunately, there are moments where you have genuinely said things that Caboose has said. And I don't think that I've met anyone else that could do that on accident. So it's very impressive. You've got to be him.
As someone who's like only watched the show on streams and I've seen a few clips here and there, for me to actually say lines that he said,
Yes.
it's insane.
It's pretty great. It's pretty fantastic. So then, Shane, I'm still very much attached to either. Me and James have talked about this in the past, where you're either Wash or you're what was it? I think it was Griff. You were either Griff, Simmons, or Wash, and I'm pretty sure it was landing on you being Griff.
I'll take Griff.
Yeah, so
Griff
it
Ball.
was among those three, Griff being most likely. And James and I have talked about this many times, and we've landed on the same answer every time. I am almost always Church, which I am okay with. Because I do have very similar reactions to being around these people as he does to everyone else around him.
So what would the second character be for me if you
had a second choice?
Yeah.
I think I would probably pick Sarge for you.
Okay.
You're the baby elite from season 2.
Black Hawk. I'm not always going to be around, so you have to learn how to be a man. I loved that season, dude. But anyway, that's the end of all of our quiz questions and such. So thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. It's been such a good time. I'm happy to be back, and I'm hoping that we get to smooth things out a little bit and enjoy what we've got for a little longer.
That was a good round of questions. I like that.
It was a good time. So if you guys want to get tuned into everything that's happening around everywhere else, then go to JumperScape.com and find our Discord and Patreon and all that such stuff. The Discord will be updated pretty soon with some nice new cosmetics to make it look a little bit more appealing, and also some channel changes. Probably some channels getting removed and other ones getting added to make the exploration experience of knowing what's going on in our community much easier. So stay tuned for that. And otherwise, my friends, please stop in every Friday, Fraggin' Friday, for every single week being a new game night and all the other events that we have going on, because we're hoping that we'll be able to start collaborating with content creators this year to make a lot of really cool events happen. And last but never least, April 18th, join us in Richmond, Virginia for the Answer Brew Pub, the return of We Like to Have Fun beer, and some other fun events that are going to be attached to it. It'll be a great time. We hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much for your consideration towards it. And otherwise, next week we'll be getting back into the swing of things, which I'm pretty sure, I'm going to confirm just because I don't want to say it without being absolutely certain. Next week we are finally getting to it. It's been a long time coming. We are talking about the Battle of Reach. So it'll be one hell of a time talking about one of the bloodiest battles in the entirety of the Human Coming to War.
I don't remember that one.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
The library was produced and published by JumperScape Audio. Funding was provided by our fantastic patrons on Patreon. If you enjoy the show and wish to support JumperScape's future projects or get some sweet benefits, join our Patreon at patreon.com/JumperScape or become part of this truly special community at discord.gg/JumperScape. Thank you for your listenership, and we hope you enjoyed.